Have you ever thought of your trauma as a privilege? I mean, wonder if you had a perfect life. Wonder if you had no pain, no challenges, everything was super easy, super chill. Would you have any character, any depth in you, any passion? How deep could you love? John 16:20 through 24. Truly, truly, I say to you, that you shall weep, but the world shall rejoice. And you shall be grieved, but your grief shall become joy. The woman has grief when she is in labor, because her hour has come. But as soon as she gives birth to her child, she no longer remembers the affliction for her joy that her baby was born into the world. And for you, therefore, have grief now. But I shall see you again, and your heart shall rejoice. And no one takes your joy away from you. Until now you have asked not in my name. Ask, and you shall receive, in order that your joy might be complete. In order for us to have joy, we must go through the affliction and grief. Our affliction and grief makes us who we are. And we become better on the other side. When we do self-development and allow Christ to heal us and heal our heart, we learn how to love. We become whole, and joy springs forth from out of our hearts. We can get worse, or we can get better through our trauma. It's our choice. At first, I got worse. I did a lot of wrong things. But I got to a point where my tormenting pain gave me a will to fight. I turned my unbearable pain into motivation to get better. It was the fuel to learn to get better. My heart pain motivated me to self-development and to seek God with all my heart. My trauma is teaching me how to love others, to want to help others, to have compassion on others. It's giving me passion for my life and a reason to live. Have you found that your trauma and pain has caused you to make a lot of bad choices? Have you done some things that you wish that you wouldn't have done? Have you made a lot of mistakes because of your pain? Have you hurt others because of your pain? I know I have. My biggest regret is running away emotionally, especially from my children and my God. Not being emotionally available. I ran away from God and told him that I was going to be a stripper because I was tired of working full time and barely being able to pay for rent and for food. I actually was going to the blood bank 3 times a week so that I would have gas money. I was tired of wondering where the money was going to come for our next meal. I was tired of not being able to provide for my children like I wanted to provide for them. So I had a conversation with God, and I said, I'm going to start stripping. I have to provide for my kids. I need to pay rent. I had just lost my job. And with tears in my eyes, I asked him, God, are you going to leave me? Are you going to forsake me? Because I'm going to go into this sin. I know I'm sinning. I know I'm doing the wrong thing. But I felt like it was the only choice I had to provide for my children. And I asked him with tears in my eyes, are you going to leave me because of this? Because I thought he would. I thought he was a God of punishment. I thought I was being punished my whole life, but I didn't even know why. I didn't even know what I did that was so wrong. I really thought he was gonna leave me. But not only did he not leave me, but he loved me. He protected me when I was in that industry. He was with me every moment of all those bad choices that I made. When I was sleeping with many men for money, I literally could feel his love for me. He was wooing me to him. I didn't feel judgment, only love. And that love is what changed me. That love is what wanted me to make my daddy proud, my Heavenly Father. It's a thing, and he drew me to him. It made me want more of him. It's actually where I first learned what love was. Before that, I just thought it was torment. Really. The first time I really felt love in my whole life was when I was a prostitute. Kind of crazy. Have you ever sinned a lot? Do you feel unworthy because of it? Do you feel like a bad person because of it? Do you feel like you can't be forgiven? Luke 7:47 says, "Therefore I tell you, her many sins have been forgiven. That's why she loved much. But the one who is forgiven little loves little." The woman in the verse was a prostitute. The person who makes a mess up. The person who makes a mess out of their life more has the capacity to love more. The one that needs to be forgiven more has the capacity to love more. That's just so amazing to me. So what's the privilege of our trauma? It's the capacity to love more, to feel passionate love. What better lesson to learn than the lesson of learning how to love? There is one thing that stops us from learning to love through our trauma. One thing that eats us alive if we don't let it go. And I'll be covering that in our next podcast.